Hello everyone, welcome to Informatica support videos. I'm Pavitra from Informatica Global Customer Support. In this video, we will see how to collect aggregated HBASE, SOLR, ingestion and scanner logs from Yarn in EDC 10.4.1 versions. This is the agenda of today's video. We will see how to log into Ambari UI and then how to go to Yarn Resource Manager UI. Next, we will see how to collect Yarn aggregated logs using its application ID. And also we'll see how to check if domain is SSL enabled or not. How to log in Ambari UI. To get the host and port to log into Ambari, first log into admin console. From admin console, go to the Informatica cluster service. So in the properties tab, under Informatica cluster options, we can find the host and port to log into Ambari. And this is how we need to construct the URL using its host and port to log into Ambari. If the domain is SSL enabled, then it will be HTTPS here. If it is non-SSL, then it will be only HTTP. Suppose if my domain is non-SSL, then the URL should be as HTTP followed by a colon and then followed by 2 forward slashes, then hostname colon and then Ambari port. And to check the domain is SSL enabled or not, remain in the same page, that is admin console, Informatica cluster service, properties tab, and under advanced options you can find the answer for that. So if the domain is SSL enabled, then the value here will be displayed as true. If it is non-SSL, then the value will be false here. How to go to Resource Manager UI from Ambari UI. Once you construct the URL to log into Ambari UI, search for the URL from a web browser, and on hitting enter, it will redirect you to the Ambari's login page where you have to provide the credentials. So the default password, username and password is admin unless you have not overridden the login credentials from admin console. After logging into Ambari, in the left panel you can find a tab called Yarn. So on clicking this Yarn, you can find a link called Resource Manager UI under the quick links. On clicking this link, it will redirect you to the Resource Manager UI page, and this is that page. And go to the Applications tab, as you can see in the above, where you can see the number of applications in the killed, finished and running state. For each and every application, there will be an application ID. Copy that ID in order to get the logs. How to get the Yarn logs using its application ID. Once you get the application ID for which you want to get the logs, log into the Hadoop node and execute this yarn command, which is yarn logs -application ID, and in place of this yarn application ID, provide the ID for which you want to get the logs. And also you can provide the path where you want these logs to be generated. Note that log into Hadoop nodes with a user who starts the application. Now we'll move on to a quick demo. Now I'm logging into the admin console of EDC version 10.4.1.3. Once you log in, go to the Informatica cluster service, which is under the services and nodes, and the properties tab under Informatica cluster options. You can find the host and port to log into Ambari, whereas the default port is 8080. If you scroll a bit down, you can, under the advanced option, you can see if the domain is SSL enabled or not. In my scenario, if it is non-SSL, so my URL will look like http://2 forward slashes host colon and then port, which is 8080. In order to save time, I've already constructed the URL and searched for it from the web browser. So when you hit an enter, it will redirect you to this Ambari's login page, which is this. So the default username and password is admin. So when you log into this Ambari, so it will take you to this Ambari's dashboard. So in the left you can find Yarn. On clicking this Yarn, you can find the Resource Manager UI link under this quick links. So now here you can see that there is only one Resource Manager UI link, as this is a single node cluster. For 3 nodes or more, you will see 2 links, one under active and one under standby. So click on the one under active. So in this case, I'll click this Resource Manager UI link, so which will redirect me to this page. So go to the applications tab, where you can see the number of applications in running state, finished state and kill state. So you can also filter it out based on your name. So here my Ingestion, SOLR and HBASE is in running state. Suppose if I wanted to download this particular Ingestion logs with its application ID, copy this ID and run that yarn command along with this application ID, and we can download the logs. Now I've logged into the Hadoop node using the user who starts the EDC application. I've copied the application ID for the running ingestion process. So we'll run that yarn command here, which is yarn logs hyphen application ID, and paste that ID here, and I'm specifying the path which is in the temp directory. So in this case I'm giving the application ID as the name of the log itself. So when you hit enter, the logs will be generated in this particular temp directory. So when you do a list on this directory, you can see the logs has been generated here. So similarly you can do it for scanner logs, HBASE and SOLR logs. Just copy the ID and run this yarn command from the Hadoop node. Now coming to scanner logs. To get the scanner logs at debug level, log into LDM admin and go to the scanner for which you want to get the logs. Under metadata load settings tabs, the advanced properties and JVM option, give this property as -d scanner log level equal to debug to get the logs at debug mode. Now I'll be showing how to get the scanner logs from yarn. For that, currently I'll be running this resource. So when the scanner is in running state, and if you click this log location from here, it will redirect you to this page, where in the left you can find RM home, which is nothing but the yarn resource manager. So normally we can get the scanner logs for a completed or failed scanner by clicking this std out link. Alternatively, you can click this RM home, which will redirect you to the resource manager UI. So on clicking this link, it redirected me to this page. So as you can see, this is the name of the scanner job, and now my scanner got completed, and this is its application ID. Copy this application ID or run the yarn command from the Hadoop node to get logs for this particular completed scanner. From this video, we saw where to get host and port and how to construct the URL based on SSL or non-SSL domain to log into Ambari. And from Ambari, we saw how to go to Yarn Resource Manager UI. We also had a demo on how to get the Yarn aggregated logs using its application ID. Just execute the yarn command from the Hadoop node by providing the application ID. Please make sure that the user who logged into the node is the same user who starts the application. If you want to get the HBASE logs, then provide HBASE application ID. Similarly, if you want to get the ingestion or scanner or SOLR logs, then provide the respective application ID to get the respective logs. Also, we saw how to get scanner logs in EDC at debug level, and how to go to resource manager by clicking the log location link from the resource in LDM admin. So if you have any feedbacks or suggestions regarding this video, please reach out to us using the following links. And thank you for watching this video.